Hi, and welcome to your fleet tracking program. This is the intro video. Basically what you have is a map on your right. We use Google Maps, and we have a control panel on your left. The colors translate into what's happening. If the vehicle's moving, you're going to see it green. If they're idling, you're going to see it orange. And if they're stopped, you're going to see it red in the duration. You can name the vehicle anything you want. It'll show the address where it's at. If it happens to be at a landmark that you created, which we'll go over later, and you will see that landmark name in the control panel. The way we have the layout is we have 5 top buttons. Dispatch is all your mapping. Dashboard is just that. It's just a simple dashboard that shows a variety of different items. Reports is your reports on how to get a report daily, weekly, monthly. You can set up auto reports. We'll go into those in a different video. But it is pretty much self-explanatory. If you want to get something, you just click on it and hit Get Report Now. We have a Data Admin tab, which is where you do some of the finer detail searches, and we have an Alert tab, where you can set up all your different stop alerts, speed alerts, landmark alerts, low battery alerts, and so forth. Getting back to the mapping, which is what we want to get you started with, is when you click on a vehicle, if you click on a vehicle and you go see trip list, you're going to see exactly what that guy's done today. So you can see it's May 4th. It's showing up how many different trips. You can see them color-coded on the map. That yellow flag shows it's not finished. If it's a yellow round pin, it'll be an idle stop in the midst of a trip, kind of like you see back here. So now, on this view, you're actually seeing a table of what's going on, where he went, when he started, when he stopped, how long he was stopped, how long it took him to get there, how many miles he drove, and any idle time that was there, and the address where the trip ended. Now, you can go to yesterday by clicking up here and go to yesterday and yesterday. You can also do multiple days, so you can do multiple days. In addition to seeing this grid on the left and map on the right type of scenario, you also have the option with this button right here to switch it to a grid only, which makes it easier on the eyes. It's a bigger font. And as you're looking at it, if you see any trip that bothers you, you can click on that one trip and go ahead and update it. Or you can go to the map and see them all mapped on the map. Or you can go back to the grid and both of them. So when you're on both of them and you wanted to see just 2 trips, so let's say I only wanted to see trip 4 and trip 7 because they're the only 2 trips that bothered me, I can click on those 2 trips. I can go to my options button and I'll go down here and do an update. And that will update the map to only the 2 trips that you selected. So now you can see those 2 trips that you selected, and if you click on them, you can see exactly where they stopped and how long they were stopped at that address. Okay? So it's pretty cool. Now, in addition to showing trips, we track 1 minute plus turns. So if I go and I switch this to locations for yesterday, it'll bring me up with the last 50 locations as standard. Now you can change this to the last 100, the last hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, last 8 hours. That's a lot of data. When we're tracking 1 minute plus turns, anytime your vehicle changes direction in more of a 20 degrees, we call that a heading change, and we report it in. So if you see here, there's 3 or 4 within that minute time frame. So if you wanted to see those on the map, you can go over here and you do both. And it will show everything on the left and the map on the right. You can use this slider bar to go back and forth to try to see a little bit more on the map and so forth. If you choose to not want the lat and long on there, you can hit lat off and click it again and hit the longitude off. Then you can adjust your sizes and you can get a little bit more of a map view. So it's your choice on what you do. And then again, you can also go to just key events. Key events are simply that. As you can see here, idle, ignition on and off, and that's it. You can flip to another vehicle just by clicking to another vehicle. That simple. So that's the dispatch. If you want to get back to sort of home on dispatch, you just hit the dispatch button again, you sort of get back to home. Now, to get you started, we got to get things edited and going. We want to get you to the Data Admin tab. And then if you click on a vehicle and you hit the pencil button, so if you remember pencil for edit, plus is new. If you see a trash can, you can delete it. So if I go in here to edit, I can go in here and I can change the name. I could put in a VIN number. I could put in a plate number. I can change the vehicle status for color. If I take this off, I can actually get custom labels. So I could go in here and I could make the label blue text with a white label. So now you'll see a blue text and a white label. You will still get your on-off, your red for stopped, your green for moving, your orange for idling on a little section of the label. You can add a driver, and we'll talk about that in another video. And hit Save Changes. So now if I go back to the map and I try to find my one that I changed the label, you can see right here is where I changed the label. So I changed it to blue with white. So now you can see that the vehicle stopped. That little part's red, but the rest of it is the color code that you chose. And again, if you want to resize the map, you go to your options button. So you're going to learn a little bit about the options button, and you hit the resize. Okay? So when we go back to the data admin tab, if we want to look at other items related to the vehicle, we can click on any vehicle and we can hit the edit button. Alright, from this page you can also go in and see trips, locations, key events, and maps. So for example, when you look here, there's also icons there. And then again, when you get into the alert tab, we'll go over that in a different video. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can set up idle alerts by hitting the plus button. I can label this a 3-minute idle. That is the lowest we can go. If I could spell. Hit save, and there's a 3-minute idle. If I want it to go somewhere, I can hit recipients. I can hit add new. I can plug in Jim's alerts or Joe's alerts. And I can pick and choose what I want. If I only want idle, I could want speed, I want acceleration. I can plug in my email address, make sure my time zone's correct, and hit save. I'm not going to hit save, but that's all you do. So that ends the lesson for today, the intro video. Remember to use your help button. On every screen there's a help button. Sometimes we have the word there, sometimes it's a little symbol. We're saving on space when it's just a symbol because we have a lot of buttons. Thank you.